it took a while to get the guests to really understand that we want to change. We want to push the limits. We want to give you the best of the best that we can get right now. 2 people recently, in the last few weeks actually, told me the same exact thing. And that's where I was like, you're 100% right. You're one of them. That is a really, really loaded question right there.
You don't have
that
to
was not in my notes.
Welcome back to another episode of Pitch and Tell. I'm your host, Robyn Patterson, and today we are sitting down with one of my dear clients, Chef Gio Osso, who is a James Beard nominated chef and owner of 2 amazing restaurants here in Scottsdale. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad you're able to make the time. You're always in the kitchen.
I am, but it's okay.
Oh, well.
I'll make time for you anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I just kind of want to just dive into the early days of you starting out in the restaurant industry and just kind of what your journey has been like. I mean, I know it's a pretty broad question, but kind of give people an idea of kind of who you are and your restaurants.
Well, I mean, I think you've heard this story 1,000 times. You know how it really started.
Yes.
Started in my high chair. You know, coming from an Italian family, you're always in the kitchen. You know, that's the center of everything, center of the world. And so I was a picky eater, and my mom would put a bowl of cold water, not hot water, cold water, with some spices and a wooden spoon, which later I was disciplined with. Oh. And then she would, let me put it in there and stir, and then she'd feed me. Huh. So fast forward, about 17 more years, and when high school was over and I wanted to go to culinary school instead, there was no shock within the family of, oh, okay, now we know what he wants to do. No, they knew that's exactly what I wanted to do, because I mean, the passion for food has always been there. That's the Italian way. You're talking about breakfast tomorrow at breakfast today. You're talking about what we're gonna have for dinner later while you're eating a meal. So how do you know what you really want later? But that's just the way it is. Everything revolves around food.
Right.
So that's how it really, really, really started, But for me, it was never really about awards or recognition or any of that stuff. Really, it was my passion for the food, but then translated into the dining experience.
Okay.
And so as time went on, I found that I just really wanted to recreate that love language of food and the experience you have around the table, whether you're arguing about something or whether you're talking about sports or you're talking about life in general or just family things, that experience of connection around the table, was my ultimate goal. And I think we achieved that.
Yeah, for sure. And so you opened, Virtù Honest Craft, 14.
June 13th, 2013. So it'll be 13 in
lucky number
right
13.
Now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you opened that 13 years ago. And what was that like? Like the initial, like opening your first restaurant?
Besides the stress factor.
Yeah, of course.
The anticipation, the excitement of it all was just, there's nothing like it. There really isn't anything like it. And we opened up to gangbusters. We opened up, the anticipation of me coming back into the restaurant game because I was gone for a little while at the airport and doing the whole corporate thing for a little while, which actually helped me get to where I am by not learning the business side of things. I don't think I'd be where I am today.
Yeah.
And so that excitement, was buzzing around town, and
I mean, you received awards like within the first year.
Right out the gate.
Which is really, I feel like, helped put it on the map.
Yeah.
And I feel like that still continues to carry you through.
It does.
Do you agree?
Does. I do agree. I mean, it's amazing. It's, it's flattering in a sense. But like I said before, it was never about that. It was more about creating that experience that I think we did achieve, right out the gate as well. Because, I mean, the idea of Virtù Honest Craft happened from a trip to Italy a long time ago where we were just going from restaurant to restaurant in southern Italy and experiencing different menus every day. Now we tried that out the gate and that was
That's aggressive.
that was a little much.
Yeah.
But we still continue that to this day, where we're doing it every week to 2 weeks. We're changing the menu.
And very few restaurants do that.
Yeah, that's still aggressive though.
Yes, it is. It's very impressive, especially how small your team is. I mean, you literally do it all. So the fact that you still take that on is really impressive.
I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it though.
Yeah.
I love to be creative. I love to think of new things, and I want to play with new things too. There's ingredients that I've never experienced before. So let's get them in and let's try it. Whether the staff comes up with an ingredient and says, "Hey, have you ever heard of this?" And I'm like, "No." Let's get it. Let's try it. So,
have you experienced negative feedback from that? I mean, I know there's certain dishes that people have argued, like they do not change these. So
the octopus, the asparagus, all those, of course. We did in the very beginning, because people would come in and they were so used to getting this dish, and then I can come back in 3 months and get that same exact dish because it's their favorite restaurant. All of a sudden, that's what happens. We weren't that restaurant. We were changing all the time. So people would come in 2 weeks later or a month later and go, well, what happened to that pork dish? We changed it because we want to have fun.
Yeah.
So the learning curve for the guest was more about, I want to experience something different every time I go, rather than, let me go to my favorite restaurant, get the same exact dish that I get every time I go. And there's people that do that. That's fine. They come for the octopus. That's one of them. Mm-hmm. But it took a while to get the guests to really understand that we want to change. We want to push the limits. We want to give you the best of the best that we can get right now.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I think it's fun to experience something new every time you come in, because I feel like you have created something. I mean, I feel like it's just really rare. I don't think a lot of restaurants do that. I mean, because again, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I don't want to be bored.
Yeah.
I don't want my staff to be bored. I don't want the guests to be bored. I want it to be fun. Let's have fun with it.
Yeah. And so when you first opened Virtù, did you have PR right out of the gate, or was that just something that you knew you needed to do later on?
We did. We did have PR right out the gate, because we knew that, we can unlock the doors, but no one's going to know.
Right.
And so we had to have that to let people know, and I think that really is what drove the awards coming through, the writers coming through, and getting the word spread throughout, the country, if you will. Yeah. To get people that are, hey, we're coming for vacation and we heard about your restaurant. So we're from North Carolina, or we're from Maine, or we're from San Francisco, and we read about you, so we're coming to see you. And that was so much, that was breathtaking. It's like, wow, thanks. I really appreciate that. But I don't think that would have happened without having the publicity behind it.
For sure. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of grew your personal brand too, following the opening of that. I remember, because I've known of you your whole career. And I know we just kind of started working together a couple of years ago. But for your personal brand, you did have a PR agency representing you on a national level at one point. What was that experience like?
That was
very
intense.
Time consuming. Yeah, I'm assuming. Yes.
Too. It was okay. We're going to spend a week in New York, and we're going to go visit all these magazines and these TV stations, and you're going to do, I don't think it's on the air anymore. The Better Show. It was a morning show, national morning show. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. You're going to do Food Network. And it was like, great, let's go. Yeah. Let's do this. But it was a lot, because I still had a restaurant to run. Mm-hmm. I'm a key component to the restaurant. And so it was difficult, but at the same time, it was a lot of fun, because it was such an experience to understand how that world works. Yeah. And
it's so different.
It's very
national PR and media world is so different than local.
It really
and
is.
It's like I said, way more intense, way more time consuming. I mean, it's not like you can just call up the Today Show and be like, hey, let's have a segment on Friday. Whereas you can do that on a local level. Sure. So it's pretty interesting.
Well, that was the part, because certain meetings that we had set up with national publications, things like that, you walk into the office to meet with them, and they're like, and you are who, and why do I care that you're here? Yeah. And it's like, I'm from Scottsdale. You know what I mean? And they're just like, okay, great, next. Yeah. They couldn't give a hoot who you were. They took the meeting because of who the PR firm was, or a friend of a favor, favor of a friend, something like that. But, that was more intimidating than anything, because it was like, I'm really small potatoes. Nobody knows who I am.
And you still act that way, though.
Because I am small potatoes.
I know. No, you're not.
I'm not a household name. I can walk through the mall. No one's going to ask me for an autograph. No one's going to say, hey, can I get a picture? None of that happens. So, and I'm okay with that. Believe me, I don't want to get to that level. But yeah, so that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But you have won so many awards, and we just got an Experience Award with you for the Foodist Awards, which is a local Arizona Restaurant Association gives out a Foodist Award, and you won the Pioneer Award, which is amazing. I mean, that's amazing, especially in the Valley restaurant food scene. I feel like to get that honor is huge. It is.
There's only one downside to it, and I have to be honest about that. It's making me older than I really am. I'm too young to be a Lifetime Achievement Award. Like, I have way more to give. You know, I have a lot to do still than to be, here he is. There's the guy, and there he goes.
He's on his way out.
I'm not. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not that old yet. So, so that's the only downside. Okay. But other than that, it was what an honor to have that award.
I mean, it's pretty great that you're still getting recognized, 13 years plus in the industry.
It's amazing.
And so let's talk about your other concept. And then I know you've also opened some and closed some as well. So obviously it's not everything as copy paste as it is once you have one successful restaurant. So when did you open Pizzeria Virtù?
So Pizzeria Virtù opened the 6 weeks before the pandemic.
Oh man.
So timing is everything.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, if we could have saw that one coming, then it probably wouldn't have happened. But so we opened that one at the end of January, beginning of February of 2020. And then the pandemic hit. And so then we just did to-go pizzas. And that was the biggest roller coaster you can ever go on. Because one day, let's prep for like 40 pizzas and see what happens.
Oh, right.
And we sold 2. And then the next day it was like, okay, let's prep for 40 again. We're going to be hopeful, Yeah. And the next day we would sell out in 2 hours. And I was like, okay, what's happening here? So it was like that for several weeks until they let us open the doors again. And with the distancing and all that kind of stuff. So now you're going from 40 seats inside to 20. It's like, well, what is that going to do?
Right. That's not even going to turn the lights on. It's not even going to do anything.
Right. So it was a very difficult time, but we're 6 years past that now, and it's thriving and it's doing very well. And
that's awesome.
It's similar in ideology of Virtù Honest Craft, where we want to change. We don't change as often at the pizzeria because it is different than anyone else. We do the Neapolitan style. I'm Neapolitan VPN certified for the style of dough and how we do things, but the toppings are not what you're going to find in a traditional Neapolitan restaurant, a Neapolitan pizzeria. So that's what makes it special and fun.
How do you get certified in something like that?
So there's the AVPN, which started in Naples in the early 80s with a bunch of pizzaiola that said we need to uphold the tradition of how we do our dough and how we do our pizzas. And the 2 pizzas that are a must are the margherita and the marinara. So they have a VPN school in Los Angeles, actually, and the president there, he is the president of the North and South Americas. And so actually I learned from him. He's the one who certified me to go to school there and understand all the ins and outs of Neapolitan style pizza. And that was a lot of fun working with him too. Pepe Miele, I love that guy.
All right. I had no idea that it was even
It's a thing. It is.
Is there a lot of restaurants that are certified?
Oh yeah. Yes. Now my next phase is to get the restaurant certified to make sure that we're doing it all the right way, even though we are, because I'm certified, but I need to get the restaurant certified.
Correct. And is it a similar process?
Kind of, yeah. They come in, they check you out. Okay. They make sure they watch you make the dough.
It's not undercover, right? It's like an actual process.
Yeah, it's a process. They come in, they watch you make your dough, they watch you make your pizzas, they make sure that you're cooking it in 90 seconds or less. You're not, you're not letting it sit there for 5 days and whatever. It's it's a strict, making sure you're not putting honey in your dough, or it's because it's just water, salt, yeast, and flour. That's it. You can't do anything else. So, and that's that's awesome too, though.
Yeah,
I love being a part of that world.
Yeah, for sure. And then when did you attempt the third concept? Because I wasn't a part of that, but I remember you trying a different idea, another spinoff of
Sure.
Kind of
so we went across Scottsdale Road and we opened up Piccolo Virtù. So
that's probably the other side of that road.
It is the other side of the road.
That road is you got to stay on your side. But I
mean, it was the concept behind that was Little Virtù, meaning we're doing big plates. So it was more family style.
Oh.
Which is where the pig dinner came from that we do at Virtù now. So we were doing the whole suckling pig. We were doing the whole roasted fish. We were doing a 50-ounce porterhouse steak, bistecca alla fiorentina. So we were doing big shareable plates.
Yeah.
And so I think price point wise, it was a little much.
Okay.
For the general public. And on that side of the road, I think people were shopping and looking at things and, window shopping, going here, going there, getting a gelato or whatever, and then wanting to come maybe get a burger.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of restaurants right there that are like that elevated of an experience.
Right.
It's, like you said, a lot of tourism.
Sure. Exactly. And I think that's what it was. They're not going to stop for lunch and get a $300 steak.
Right.
It was more, hey, let's get a burger, let's get a sandwich, let's get a grilled cheese or something like that. In the restaurant that's there now, a good friend of mine, Bernie Kantak and Beginner's Luck, they're doing a fantastic job.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Okay.
Great. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have PR through all of these stages? Because I would love to know like your experience, because obviously you had it off the bat with Virtù, and I feel like you have it now. So as far as like your journey goes with media.
Well, once pandemic hit, that's when we had to be like, all right, we need to tighten the screws on everything, and that's one of the things that we're going to need to eliminate. And I should have brought it back sooner because I think being outside looking in rather than being in the forefront of people's minds hurt the business a little bit.
Yeah.
And so now we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
And, we have the best PR team in town.
Oh, that's very sweet. What's interesting is that during the pandemic, I worked with a lot of restaurants and I was like the first one. I got called. I remember that day. It was like a Tuesday. I feel like when the announcement came out that everything had to shut down. And I remember getting like 5 calls in a row of just like, hey, we have to let you go.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is I felt like within 4 weeks, they were all kind of crawling back because they're all like, we got to get it out that we're doing to go or we're doing outside dining now. And it's like PR was so necessary during that time because everyone wanted to help support. And I remember donating a lot of my services to just even the smaller places that had no means to even pay for something, but I just wanted to, I was really bored. I remember being very bored. And, but that was very interesting from a PR standpoint. And then I got new clients during that time that were thriving.
Right.
Because people were home spending money that the government just, here you go, here's your money. Yeah. And they were just spending money. And so I remember I started working with fat scooters.
Okay, yeah.
And those people were just buying them and riding around town because it was social distancing fun. And so, but I remember getting them as a client. I was like, this is crazy that they're just like selling like nonstop. So it was interesting to see more of obviously the service restaurant-based struggle, and then products I felt like were doing great, and experiences that more at home or.
It was a tough time. It was a very, very tough time.
So opening a restaurant. And what's interesting is I'm going to interview Wine Girl, my other client, and they opened March 2020 as well. So there's a lot of people that were like I got married May of 2020. So I was like, May 2020 is our year.
Yeah.
And
2020 was a special year. That's
tough.
For sure.
Yeah. I can't believe it's already been 6 years though. It's crazy.
Thank goodness.
Yes. So you're very savvy with media. I feel like you're really good at it as far as when it comes to just being a natural on TV. So what are some tips that you would give to other people that are like wanting to have a better presence on TV, or like, what's your game plan when it comes to showing up, representing?
All right. So
you just wing it?
Pretty much. Yeah. No, I mean, be yourself, because for the longest time, I was trying to be a personality. I was trying to be something that I'm not. So I was really trying hard. First of all, I was trying hard to get rid of my New Jersey accent. Okay. And I think it's pretty good. It's not 100% gone, but it's almost all gone. I still say orange instead of orange. Orange instead of orange. It's orange. Anyway, regardless. but no, I mean, so I was trying to be this big personality. Oh, maybe somebody will notice and I'll get a show. I'll do this, I'll do that, whatever. No, 2 people recently in the last few weeks actually told me the same exact thing. And that's where I was like, you're 100% right. You're one of them. And Bo McMillan is the other one who said, just be you. You have a personality. Why are you trying to be something that you're not? Stop looking like, stop doing these videos that's like an infomercial. and be you.
Yeah.
And then it'll all fall into place.
Yeah.
And
but it's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done.
Because even when I like first did this, like my first episode of the podcast, we actually retaped it because I felt like the first one
was too much.
I was just like, felt like I was acting. And I'm like, well, just sit there and just talk.
Right.
That's the whole point of a podcast. So it is easier said than done though.
It is. But
especially
I think
to represent not just you, but your brand too. So.
But I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Just, this is me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being me right now. I'm not being a personality. I'm not trying to do anything.
Yeah.
That's, wow, look at him. No. Just be me.
Yeah. And I think that's people will gravitate towards more authentic people.
Exactly. I was just about to say that. It's that connection now. You're gonna get that connection with whoever's listening, whoever's watching, because you're being you. And because that's what they want, is to learn who you are. Rather than this personality.
What if the person has like no personality? Like, because I've worked with some chefs that are like just duds. Just brick. Yeah. So like they really have to bring it. I mean, because with TV, I feel like that will fall so flat to where you're like, I don't really want to go there because like this guy, like it hurts to even watch,
Yeah.
So for people that are like, struggle with that. Yeah.
Practice. Just keep practicing. Keep doing it.
There's media training.
There is media training. Just keep doing more and more and more, and you'll get more and more comfortable in front of the camera or radio, wherever you're going to do it, or on your own Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're doing your social media. Just keep doing it. Yeah. Keep practicing, because you're only going to get better as you keep practicing. Yeah. That's the only thing you can do, really. Yeah,
for sure. I'd love that advice. And then what are some... Because we work with such you've seen how the PR industry has changed drastically and how influencers have come in.
Sure.
And what I would love to know your take on influencers, because there are it's a whole different world.
It is a whole different world.
Being a business owner and knowing the impact that they can have on your business, I just would love to know your opinion of the industry. And
that is a really, really loaded question right there.
You don't have
that
to
was not in my notes. Thank you. Taking me by surprise. That's okay. That's okay. No, so influencers. That one is a tough one, because you have some that really will affect your business. Mm-hmm. They can come in and they just do one little post saying, hey, you should come try this restaurant. And then all of a sudden you're busy for, a couple of weeks of people coming, hey, I heard that this restaurant's the place to be.
Especially a new concept.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If you do it perfectly and have all of them out there, to capture it before it even opens to the public, there's probably going to be reservations booked for forever. Yeah. So I've seen it.
And then there's some that just want a free meal.
Yeah.
So it's picking
or
and
that
choosing.
Buy followers and pretend that they're an actual influencer.
Yes, that too.
And I'm just so thankful that we've gotten to a point where there's like services now to validate engagement rate and real followers. Yes. Because before it's like people would just, look at that, like 20,000 followers. Right. And I've slowly, it's been like 10 years. And I've been like, that person has had 20,000 followers for 10 years. Yeah. Pretty interesting that they have done the same content and yet no growth.
Well, that's why I send them all to you. Because you get emails every day about it. We do. Every day. Hey, I want to come do something with your restaurant.
It's the people that reach out for a free meal that I'm like, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I need to be pitching you.
Right.
Because you have to be so busy that you're that good at the content. And I am instantly turned off by an influencer that reaches out like, hey, where can you host me? I'm like, nowhere. Right. You have to go home. Like, just shoot. So we've worked with a lot of them, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah. But I do know the impact it can have, and honestly, probably stronger than traditional media these days.
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do the rounds, you're gonna do your all your TV stations, morning shows, afternoon, whatever it is, that really will. But you got to do them all.
Yeah.
And you have to do them all like in a row. Right. So this way you're in somebody's face at all times.
Yep.
And then, but for the influencers, it depends on who is coming to your restaurant or coming to your shop or whatever it is that you're doing. Getting the influencers in there that actually can impact you, it's huge. Yeah. It's important too.
For sure.
You should do it.
All right. Well, what's next for you and Virtù?
I'm going to go back to work.
Finish prepping
my menu for tonight.
Which is amazing that you're literally in the kitchen. I mean, and you have an adorable family at home, and it's like you spend so much time. So, and it's rare. I feel like you don't go to a restaurant and see the owner chef in the kitchen almost every night.
Thanks.
I mean, like, no, I love that though. But like, I think that's what makes it so like such a humble experience as when you
I
go.
want to.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
You know, having to, you know, you have to be there is one thing, but I want to be there.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing like it when I see a guest take their first bite and that smile happens of, wow,
that will never get old to you.
No, never. That's the biggest reason why I do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I do it for my family when I cook at home too. You know, seeing my kids put that first bite in their mouth and they're like, Dad, it needs more salt.
Yeah.
You know, or I've had better.
Oh
it
my
happens.
gosh.
Oh yeah,
Your
my
kids
kids
tell you
are
that?
brutal. Yeah, they'll be
Wow.
like, yeah, I think the one we had at that other restaurant was better than this one. It's like, okay, I got you. I see you.
Tough
I see you.
critic.
But that's okay. I'll take it because that only makes me better.
Yeah.
But seeing the guests' reaction when they eat something and they're like, wow, that's the best I ever had. You know, I love hearing that. I love seeing that. And that's the biggest reason why I want to do it is because of that experience. I want them to have that experience that it's the best.
Yeah.
Now, that's my own claim.
Yeah.
You know, well, are we the best? No, of course not.
I think so.
But
this is so off track, but my daughter, because I know you mentioned like you started when you were like in high chair. So my 2-year-old loves to make soap soup in the sink. And, like every day, like let's make soap soup. And like in a bowl, and I'll just pump some soap in there, and she'll just stir it. And I'm like, oh great, she's gonna be a chef in the making.
Don't do it. Don't do it. My daughter's doing the same thing. She shouldn't say she's doing the same thing. She's baking now. I want to make cupcakes. I want to make a cake. I want to do this. And just like, I want to be a baker. I'm like, no, you don't.
Do you eat any of her sweets?
I do. I have to.
Yeah,
How
I
can
know.
not?
I know.
And they're actually really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
All 3 of my kids make killer chocolate chip cookies. I'm like, how do we package these?
Yeah.
Child labor, but I can't do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Farmer's
they're
market.
Really good.
Maybe.
Really, really. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe someday.
I mean,
maybe that's what's next.
Yeah. You see though, like these kid entrepreneurs doing this stuff.
Yeah. They do it all summer long and winter long, and they're out there with their lemonade stand or they're selling cookies. Or
let me know when they're out there. I want
Yeah.
to swing by.
Sure.
I'll get some lemonade and a cookie. No, but for real, though, like what's next for your brands and you and like I know you have a lot of aspirations when it comes to both concepts, and would love to know just kind of like what your plans are. And I actually already kind of know some of them, and I can't probably say it because it's not final, but you know, just want to see what you could share.
I think what's next would be sharing more experiences. You know, getting out there and maybe doing some dinners in people's homes or dinners at the restaurants. Doesn't really matter where, you know, but I just want to share the stories more, you know, share the experience more and the food and everything that it tells.
Yeah. The wine dinner was really fun.
Which one?
With Ferragamo.
Oh, the Ferragamo dinner. That was fun.
We got to do more of those.
That was like 7 courses. That was a lot.
That was a lot of food, but it was
good.
Spectacular. So good. We got to do more of those.
We do need to do more of those.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's pretty much what's next. I mean, I love opening restaurants and things like that, but I also love seeing my staff grow and go on and do different things and special things. And so I think for now, it's just trying to convey my experience message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to talk about?
Whatever you want to talk about. I'm ready. I'm game. So
this is how I usually end every episode is I will ask you, what is your personal definition of PR? Because I feel like everyone describes it so differently because it is such a behind the scenes industry.
It is.
And it is not it is a marketing tool, but it is not, it's not like advertising where it's like, there's a direct ROI and it's more brand awareness. So I just want to know how would you describe PR to
I think one of the biggest misconceptions, I guess, if you will, with PR is that people want the instant gratification. You know, they want, okay, we're going to get a PR company. They're going to do this. And then tomorrow we're going to be busy. And then we're going to let them go.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works. Right. You got to be in it for the long haul, you know, because it's the consistent connection with the guests. It's consistent connection with, you know, the people that are watching you or the people that are listening to you. That consistent behavior, if you will translate into your business longevity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that repetition, you know,
I always say like be relevant at all times in your industry because I feel like that's the best way to be top of mind and stand out because like this year has been insane as far as growth goes in your industry, in the Valley, in Scottsdale, in your exact market. Yeah. literally within like a couple miles of a restaurant, there's been how many new restaurants?
A lot, too many.
Yeah, wait till we're
within a
done.
stone's
Like
throw,
stop.
there's a lot.
Go to like come out by Gilbert where I live.
There's more coming. Oh my god. Yeah, I've
Scottsdale.
In Scottsdale, I've talked to
Where?
a couple of other.
There's no room.
other more on the celebrity side of chefs that are going to make their dip into the Scottsdale market too. And that's
I get
fine.
it though,
that's
because
great.
it's like it
growing.
is an incredible destination, and Experience Scottsdale promotes it so well.
Absolutely.
Internationally. Everyone comes, I feel like, to Scottsdale. Yeah. So it's great that you're like have such a prime location in the valley. But it's so important for someone that's been in business for 13 years to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like you're just going to be slowly forgotten as these bigger.
You just hit it right on the head. That's how you could define it. Because like I said, it's the repetition of being in front. So repetition equals relevance. There you go.
Yeah.
Now you can put that on your website.
Okay. I'll take it. Trademark it.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
Talking about the industry, because it's, like I said, it's a lot behind the scenes, and like we don't really get to talk about the highs and lows of what we do. But it's a pleasure working with you as well and representing your brands. And so excited to see what's next.
Me too.
With you're like, especially tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on in. We got room. All right. Well, until next time.
Until next time.
Thanks, Gio.